Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group number 1. We will presenting about Islamic design principle. And my name is Muhammad Fahmy bin Yamadi. And my friend is Muhammad Qayyim bin Zulhari, Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Saidi. Okay, move to the next slide. Okay, now I want to present about the principle, Islamic principle, the relationship between man to the creator. Okay, first, we must respect for knowledge and conscious of the creator. Second, this relationship about the justice, compassion, trustworthy, credibility, and unity. Okay, next. Okay. Respect for knowledge and conscious of the creator. Justification of principle. The earth as a source of knowledge represent a symbol and existence of the creator. Most school, libraries, and other symbol of knowledge and recognition of the creator. Then city as a center of learning and civilization, neighborhood unit based on education institution, conservation of environment, and the last one is translate the glory of the creator through physical manifestation. Okay, next. Okay. For the justice, justice is the giving each what is rightfully his at the respective rate. First, activities and element at the rightful and appropriate place. Second is formulation of policies and monitoring, facilitating development. They are just. Third is the balance and equitable distribution of development. And the last one is provision of facilities to at least meet the minimum standard. Okay, next slide. For the compassion is characteristic that is above that is above justice, inner feelings, the beauty of the heart, soul, and the spirit, which influence a person's action. All planning and development decision and action consider effect to the individual, society, and environment. The planning and design of building should produce art and beauty with a high aesthetic value with reflecting religious and cultural heritage. The last one, the provision of facilities beyond minimum standard. As you can see, this is the most at the back. Okay, next is trustworthy and credibility. What is trustworthy and credibility? Trustworthy and credibility is all action resolved from trust is placed to him, either in administration, which is referring to the expertise. We must planning must based on actual fact, then give individual his right without infringing on the interests of the society, and listening and accepting public opinion if it leads to a better living environment. And the last one is unity. Unity is to provide development that promote unity. A city is like a human body. So unity is to provide development that enhance interaction. And the second one is to use of writing, symbol, image, and other element that reflect unity. Okay. Okay. I move to the next presenter, Qayyim.
Okay, For the next principle, the second principle is the relationship between man and environment. There is 3 points under this principle. The first is cleanliness and beauty. Second one is preservation of the environment and sustainable natural resources. And the last one is economic and effective use of resources. So the first one is cleanliness and beauty. Justification of this principle is about the two noble values that is stressed upon by all religion, race, and civilization. This include cleanliness and beauty in terms of physical built environment, the spiritual and intellectual. The second point on the principal relationship between man and environment is preservation of the environment and sustainable natural resources. The justification of this principle is the environment, apart from its functional values, also has spiritual values such as happiness, tranquility, and well-being for man. Therefore, the environment must be protected from destruction and pollution. And the last point for this principle is economic and effective use of resources. The justification of this principle is about the implementation of development. There is often wastage incurred through actions which increase costs not only in terms of money but also through the destruction of nature and disturbance to man's life, whereas some of those actions could have been avoided. So, move to the next principle, which will be presented by Irfan Saidi.
Okay, the last principle for the Islamic design, which is the relation between man and man, and it includes 6 aspects. The first aspect is respecting privacy and division of space. The second, the value of encouraging interaction and acquaintance. The third one is peace and security. Next one, respecting the right of the individual, cooperation, sensitivity, and mutual respect. And the last one is consultation. Okay, for the first aspect that we discussed about man and man, each respecting privacy and division of spaces. The justification of principle is an important element that is highly expected, especially in relation to house or residence, include privacy from both physical and visual intrusion. The second aspect is the value of encouraging interaction and acquaintance. The justification is to achieve a united society. There must be an atmosphere conducive for making contact and acquaintance among occupants of any residential area, working place, and also the recreation center. Move to next aspect, which is peace and security. From Ibn Khaldun in his book of Muqaddimah, it stated that the objective of establish a city is to create a settlement and place for shelter. Therefore, it should be noted that all things which are dangerous should be kept away from the city so that it will be protected from anything that can harm and bringing in anything that is beneficial and providing all facilities appropriate for life in the cities. Move to the fourth aspect, which is the respecting the right of the individual, and the justification is la daro wa la diro, which means no harm should be inflicted or causes to people. The next aspect is cooperation, sensitivity, and mutual respect. This justification, which the conclusion from this aspect, which is we need to avoid and preventing all element or action that can bring about damage or destruction in terms of physical, moral, and also the values. And then the last aspect of man to man, which is the consultation. The justification of consultation is every man has been bestowed with the freedom to think individual about a subject, especially one that affect him. So for the conclusion for these three principles which related to the Al-Fatihah, and the best thing is we need to implement the Al-Fatihah in our design, which is the Baiti Jannati, the retreat house that we must build in. We propose to build in USIM, and from Al-Fatihah, the Al-Fatihah is like a guidance to us. I think that's all for the principle. Okay, move to the Nakli study from Muhammad Fahmy.
Okay. Okay. Now I want to explain about my retreat house that have a relation to the Islamic principle. For my design, which is last project of this semester, I use two Nakli study, which is the first one is from Surah Luqman ayah 20, which is, do you not see that Allah has made subject to you whatever in the heaven and whatever in the earth, and apply bestow upon you his favor, both apparent and unapparent. For this ayah, I want to highlight about the apparent and unapparent. This is same meaning with inside out. Everything have a inner beauty and a outside beauty. So if we combine each other, we can get a beautiful creature. Okay. So we must appreciate each other, which is the inside strength and outside strength. So the second one is from Surah Al-An'am, ayat 99. And it is he who sent down rain from the sky, and we produce thereby the growth of all things. We produce from it greenery, from which we produce grain arranged in layer. So for this ayah, that mentioned Allah has made for us the plants, the nature, and the vegetation for us. So everything that Allah made for us has their own function, their own strength, their own beautiful. So we as human that have brain, we must appreciate the nature. We must use it properly. So if we appreciate the nature, we can get the peace, we can get the calmness. So move to the next slide. Okay, this is my floor plan. As you can see at the top is the lake at the side of our site study. So for my house, I using two side, which is at the right side is the private area and the left side is a public area. For the private area, this is for the women, for us. Maybe we want to solar, we want to bed, we want to sleep, we want to the private. So we must get the privacy. Then for the public area, I use glass window, totally glass window. So from the inside, human that use the house can see the outside, can see the nature outside. So if people come to my house, they can feel the calmness, feel the serenity. If then from my house, they can see the lake at the from the inside. So from that, we can appreciate the nature, by what Allah has made for us. So next slide. Okay. This is the view from the public area, which is the loft. As you can see, loft has a top view. So from this area, we can see the vegetation outside. We can see the lake. So this very relate to my concept, which is inside out, to appreciate the nature. So if we sit at the loft, we can see the outside. So I think this is the Islamic, very related to the Islamic principle, which is the relationship between man to creator and man to environment. So what is your opinion? Opinion.
For me, the Nakli studies and the design approach that you use is really relatable, which the concept of inside out from Surah Al-An'am,
Yeah.
from Surah Al-An'am,
Yes.
which it related with this interior perspective, where we can see the greeneries through the facade, which we can also enjoy the green even we are inside the house. That's for my opinion. That's all for my opinion. How about you, Danish?
For me, I think I agree with Irfan because in this design, looking at the perspective, there is a big opening and I think most part of the building is covered by a big opening. So people inside of the house can enjoy the beautiful nature around the house and appreciate them. But somehow, I think um, the sunken part is I quite confused about that, but I think it's there is an objective to put that in the design. I think so far it's good. So great job from Fahmy.
So far so good.
Yes, so far so good.
Um,
Okay.
I I have opinion for the sunken part.
Okay.
Since the sunken is below the floor level, I think to improve the design is to put the skylight in at the roof, because we can, if we are against the greeneries, we can see them.
So the skylight is like exactly on top of the sunken part, right?
Yes. So people still can enjoy the outdoor environment, even we can see the green.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I just put the skylight at the loft and the dining area under the loft. So at the sunken, maybe I will put it later. Okay, thank you. I can move to the next presenter.
Oh, for my design, there is three Nakli studies that I have make some research. Which the first one is the unity from Surah Al-Mu'minun. The meaning is verily this brotherhood of yours is a single brotherhood, and I am your Lord and cherisher. Therefore fear me and no others, from Surah Al-Mu'minun verse 52. So from this verse is related to Muslim or non-Muslim, which we must unite and against the racism. Means even we have if we have the problem, we must solve it together. Okay, next slide. Okay, the next is home for safety from Surah An-Nahl, verse 18. The meaning is, and Allah has made for you from your home a place of rest and made for you from the hide of the animal, then which you find light on your day of travel and your day of encampment, and from their wool, fur, and hair is furnishing and enjoyment for a time. So from this Nakli study, it's related to the which we must make a home for our safety from the weather or from the animals. Next, the last Nakli study, which is about the privacy from Surah An-Nur, verse 58. The conclusion from the summary from this Nakli study, which related to the privacy for men which not yet reach puberty. They must ask the permission before entering at 3 times, which is before the dawn prayer, when you put aside your clothes at noon, and after the night prayer. Next slide. Okay, from these 3 Nakli studies, which related to safety, which include safety, privacy, and unity, I got the concept of serenity, which is serenity is meaning that we get the calmness and feel untroubled from the environment, or also serenity from ourselves. Next slide. Okay, from my ground floor plan, there is some Islamic principle that I have put in my floor plan. The first one is the position of the living bedroom and the kitchen is it's far, and also there is some obstacle that maintaining the privacy for women to stay in the kitchen and also the guests to stay in the living room. The second element which I put in my courtyard, which using the tree as the reminder to us, which we need to relate our daily life with Al-Fatihah. There is three element with in the tree. It's related to the root, trunk, and also the trees. From the trees, if the root is good, the trunk, the branches, and also the leaf will also be good. Okay, move to the next. Move to the next presenter, which is Dennis Qayyim. I think that's all from me. Okay. We need to discuss for my. I forgot that. Sorry.
Okay.
Do we need to discuss?
Qayyim?
Just okay.
Qayyim, how about you?
Did you have any opinion to improve, or any suggestion, or there is some disagree or agree?
I think
to bring the more principle of Islamic.
Yes.
As for me, I think your design is quite related to the concept, and especially to the Nakli study, because the arrangement, especially on the parts of the arrangement of the layouts, the form, and on the functionality of each space that you want to specialize. But somehow I don't know if there is some part that need to be improved. But I think so far everything is good and well related.
Yeah. For me, very we can see that your house is very related to the principle meant to environment, which is you have many trees around your house, and I also like your arrangement of your layout, which is the living room, the multifunctional space, and also the dining room. Uh, you have so much the gathering part, so that very related to your nakli, which is you can solve the problem together. So when we meet, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet with their friend to solve their problem. So I think your house is very have good arrangement. So to the people share their problems. I think that's all for me.
Oh, thank you for the comment. But however, from the previous final create session, which we
Okay.
have create with external panel, uh,
Hmm.
which is Sir Amin have from GDP has comment for my Nakli study, which I must avoid to pick and use the Nakli, uh, like I have done in my design, which the Nakli study part, which I have picked and used to create a concept. But the right way is uh, to to be more explorative in Nakli study.
Oh,
Ah,
Oh,
means you have to study more.
yes,
we
Okay.
must to develop more.
yes, that's true.
Yes.
I understand that.
I think that's all for my improvement in my design.
Okay.
By the way, thank you
So,
for the comment.
okay. Thank you too for presenting. So, what about, can I move to my presentation?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
go ahead.
So here it is. I just have one Nakli reference, which from Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 143. Um, وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا لنعلم من يتبع الرسول ممن ينقلب على عقبيه وإن كانت لكبيرة إلا على الذين هدى الله وما كان الله ليضيع إيمانكم إن الله بالناس لرؤوف رحيم. So there is the translation in English. The main terms that I want to highlight from this Quran verse that I study is the terms in Ummatan Wasata, which in this verse, the Ummatan Wasata is described as a just and a chosen people. We, which is in this situation is Umat Nabi Muhammad in comparison with the earlier Ummah. And also Matawasato also can be described as the middle, which is not extreme in terms of beliefs and practices. Also in comparison with the early Ummah. And the last point is a just face, that is one that does not deny the existence of God and one that um, denies multiple gods. So, from my observation on the study of this term, the wasato means the balance between everything that we bring a part in our life. Like generally, wasato can be described as the balance of um, our life between dunya and akhirah. So there must be a balance, not like we are to focus on the dunya things until we forget the akhirat thing, and also other. So in these terms, the wasata words is giving me idea to come out with the concept of wasatiyah. Wasatiyah means balance. Also in architecture, we can describe it as balance. So I have to come out with some characteristics which are um, straightforward circulation or one-way circulation, simple layout, simple also can be looked as simple circulation, and lastly is some sort of minimalism concept, minimalist style. So, alamak, macam mana nak- okay,
Limitless.
yes, not limitless, only minimalist.
Nah,
Okay, so moving on to my floor plan. So based on the concept Wasatya, I would like to describe. I would like to look it as a direction of instruction of me to design a house which has a directional part. Means the house is only direction to one part. So since there is a lake in front of our side, I would like to propose the house has the directional part only to the side, so there is nothing else need to be direction. So this is the floor plan. The front part is here, and this is the rear part, left part and right part. So based on my floor plan, I would like to show my house is actually has the double frontage. The double frontage means there is no main entrance. There is no like one only entrance, and the entrance also can be called as uh, there is only one entrance for people come in and come out from the house. But instead of that, my house has two entrances for the front and for to the rear. So the circulation from front entrance to the rear entrance is straightforward. It's actually one-way circulation from front to rear. To relate the design to my concept Wasatya means there is a directional. People are directed to only one way. So from the front and to the rear, people are only directed to one way. So from the when people getting into the house, they can discover all parts of the house, starting from the living room, the stairs to the loft, the dining room, and the kitchen. But when they look at the left, they can see the master bedroom, bedroom 2, the toilet, and also the store and multifunctional space. So there is no intricacies. They just there's no complicated effect in complicated functions in my house. So it has to be simple and minimalist, like what I said before. And moving to the model, I want to show the form and the form that is related to my concept, which like what I said before, the house has double frontage. Okay, like the top left picture, there this is the front elevation, top right left elevation, bottom left rear elevation, and bottom right that right elevation. So you can see the from the front and from the rear, there is a double facade and also the entrance in both elevation, both side, to strengthen the concept of Wasatya and the balance. So because I want to balance each side of the house has the same values, has the same mode. So each part of the house does has need to be like same form. So there is no complicated version, and there it is, the design. So if you look at the top right picture, in we can see through the interior part of the house. There is not many partition wall, so the house has like an big opening space inside of the house, and And that brings the one-way circulation and straightforward circulation into my house. So that is what I want to relate to the concept. Okay, so that's all from me. Do you guys have any comment?
Yeah, I think your house is quite good, and your house also have many plants outside. So and your house is like a fine house, which is you have a big tree inside your house, and I'm very like that uh, that feature. How about you, Irfan?
First of all, I like the model.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
Yeah, very like.
the second one is the form, the form that you, the form of the building, which you apply the symmetrical, symmetrical way to
Symmetrical.
define, to define the concept and naqli that you have presented earlier, and I think that's a good way to to propose the idea.
Mm.
Uh, but the thing is, the first the first thing that I have see through the building is the roof and also the facade, but there is less sense of welcoming. I think that's all. I think you need to improve in a sense of welcoming, so people
Oh,
can see, so people can see the entrance also.
oh, oh, right,
But
right.
that, but the idea, but the idea of roof and facade I like.
Oh,
Yeah, I agree with Irfan.
Oh, thank
okay.
you.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. So I think nothing from me. I think we can end this session.
Maybe the conclusion
From me.
from anyone.
Yes. From
Anyone who,
Qayyim.
or Anish Qayyim, maybe the conclusion through the Islamic principle design in our retreat house.
Okay, so from me, I think most three of us have a design that uh, some of the part in our design is really related to the principle of the Islamic principle that we have studies like man to the creator, man to the environment, and man to man. For example, most obvious part is the man to environment, which my design and Irfan design has the space for the water apple tree in the side to grow, and we don't cut it off. So it is a good idea to preserve the tree. And like for Fahmy design also has a very good in terms of man to environment too, because there his house has big opening, and also there is a skylight in the dining. So but there is also some kekurangan. There's also
Disadvantage.
this disadvantage. There's pros and cons in every
Pros
design.
and cons.
So I think, but overall, most of us did great for our first project. That's my point. Thank you.
In addition, for me, we have put the the gathering space in the specific area. I think that's a good point for man to man, which we can
Mm.
interact each other.
Mm.
So I think that's all. Anything from Fahmi?
I think both of you has said what I want to say. So the time is jealous of us. So I think I want to end. I think I want to end this session with thanks to Madam Ifah and Madam Madiha who taught us for the architectural communication. So that's all from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks